So we're going to seam these edges together. And as you can see, the garter stitch ridges go up and down here and across there. So we need to take a second and look to learn to read our knitting. Just as when we talked about the picking up stitches, we can see working this way that we have rows of open parentheses here and we have a row of closed parentheses going this way. I'm going to choose this row of closed parentheses for picking up stitches, or for seaming on this side. But let's look at this side for a second. If we look at this row right here, it's kind of in a valley between these purl bumps here, you can see that there are pairs. There are rows of stitches that tilt to the right and a stitch that tilts to the left. A stitch that tilts to the right, a stitch that tilts to the left. And you can use either one, but you need to be consistent. So what I'm going to do is on this side here, I'm going to pick the row that has closed parentheses. And on this side here, I'm going to pick the row where my stitches lean to the right. So the first thing we have to do, here's my end that I kept out, I didn't weave in. I'm going to make sure to go through the very edge of the very corner stitch to get started, so we have a very good looking edge. Now, here's my row of closed parentheses. I'm going to let my needle do the work. I'm going to put my needle down next to parentheses, and when I pull it up, I am going to scoop up a bar of yarn right there. And then I move up, and remember we said I was going to get the stitches that lean to the right. So here is a right leaning stitch that I pick up. Now I move on to the next closed parentheses. I put my needle down, I let my needle do the work, I lift up, look, there's the bar of yarn, and I pick it up. Now we decided we wanted the pieces that leaned to the right. So here's the next one that leans to the right. And here's the next closed parentheses. And I let my needle do the work. And then I'm picking the ones that lean to the right. Here's the next one. And I just move on gradually, one row at a time. Here is the closed parentheses. I let my needle do the work. I put the needle down, bump it up against the edge, put it down, and I scoop it up, and look, there's that bar that I want to capture. And then here's a pair of stitches. There is a piece that leans to the right and a piece that leans to the left. I want to take the right leaning piece. I just scoop it up with my needle and work my way across. Here's a closed parentheses. I go down, and then I scoop up that bar. Now, so here's my garter stitch row going this way. Here's my garter stitch row going that way. I haven't pulled it too tight. I've let the yarn sort of, the knitting sort of just kind of fold itself together. And then on the inside, you can see that all of the irregular edges are all trapped on the inside to leave me with a neat and tidy seam on the outside.